Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, the rich get richer. You guys have known how much I've been pushing out MAGISTUS propaganda. New Link 2 confirmed today as a V-Jump promo. We'll get that announced in like 2 or 3 weeks. But also today, we have 2 new cards for MAGISTUS from Premium Pack 2025 revealed. These are actually the first reveals for Premium Pack, period. Hopefully they're good. A Link 2 is already a really good sign. If that card's effects are solid, then that's a huge piece for the deck as well. But let's hope that they capitalize on these 2 cards as well. So let's start off here with MAGISTUS Crowley, or Crowley the Gifted of MAGISTUS. The deck really needs a main deck extender, so if this card's a really good main deck extender, then we're cooking. Alright, this card reads level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1810 for the stats. First and second effects are hard once returned. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it. They just gave us a freaking Poplar. MAGISTUS Poplar. Hey, like that's good. That's just straight up good. Okay, second effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can fusion summon one MAGISTUS or invoked fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. And if this face-up card is used as fusion material, it can be treated as Alistair the Invoker. Okay, wait a minute. Now we're actually cooking. So this card extends itself on the field. When it does, wow, this actually could be legit invoke support. Because then like you just summon it, and this card is a body that counts as Alistair. It's a dark, so it's not a light, so it can't make Macabre, unfortunately. But if, like, for example, if you had this as a card, like if you could search this while you already open Alistair and invoke, but I guess we're focusing on MAGISTUS more so right here. That's really interesting. So it only fusions you into either a MAGISTUS or an invoked, but if this counts as Alistair, you only need any other light monster on the field, and since any MAGISTUS monster you ever put on the field can just easily be linked into Artemis, you can almost guarantee your way into Macabre, which is kind of cool. Okay, pretty interesting. All right, I like it. I think first and foremost, just being an extender like this that's free. The other Crowley just was kind of cheeks because it had to pitch another spellcaster from hand or field to summon itself. So it was basically like a neg 1-esque extender. Whereas this card, where this may not be the type of card you really want to draw, but it's not the end of the world because the archetype already has Zorwa to pull any other level 4 spellcasters out of the hand. So if you can just connect to Zorwa, you can pull this out of the hand anyway. So drawing multiple normals is not as bad in this archetype as it is for other archetypes. And then just fusing you into something else, or just, you know what, leave it on field. It's just going to be your level 4 body to go into whatever you need. That may be good enough. This card's already probably just power creeping the other Crowley out of the deck. It's not a crazy superior extender in the way that I imagined for MAGISTUS, but it's definitely going to see play, I think, because of just the lack of good extenders that the deck already has. So we'll take it. That's pretty decent. All right, next up, we also have a new, this is a, okay, here we go. There we go. I was wondering what was going on here. So a new quick play spell. This card is called Vare Magic, Lacrima of Light. It's a quick play spell, but this card is always treated as a MAGISTUS or Witchcrafter card, so it's searchable by both, which is kind of nice. I was wondering what was going on here, but they did a good job here, and they made it count as a MAGISTUS card, so it should be pretty searchable. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect on this card's name once per turn. So technically this card is not a hard once per turn, but once you use the first effect, you cannot use the second effect, and vice versa. So it's technically like a twice per turn. You just can't use the second, like which one of the effects, only once per turn. So first effect reads, if you control a MAGISTUS or Witchcrafter monster, you can send one spellcaster monster or one spell from your deck to the graveyard. Okay. Off the top of my head, I don't think any of the MAGISTUS cards, specifically spells, are that good. I have to imagine, with how big of a type spellcasters are, that there's got to be some decent spellcaster Foolish Burial targets that exist. I mean, even if it's something as simple as sending Spoon because Spoon can equip something from extra, like, that's pretty decent. All right, cool. Like, that's pretty decent. And second effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect, special summon a Magistus or Witchcrafter monster from your hand or deck. That's so nice. Wow. Now, the problem with that, slightly, not like a huge... Oh! Whoa, these cards work together so cool. So, like, I would have said, like, before we even read this first card, I would have read this first effect and said, oh, well, we don't really have a great target for, like, the opponent's turn. This is a quick play spell. So if we have to set this and pass turn, if our opponent uses any effect, I'm like, what are we summoning off of this to get anything? Right? Like nothing, like, sure, you can summon Vare, and Vare search you a follow-up card. It's fine, but it's not great. Like, that's just follow-up. Like, you know what I mean? I want the option to say, okay, we did enough interruptions, our opponent's not going very far, we can now get follow-up and try to look towards the future of next turn. But if we're in a situation where, like, I have to interrupt my opponent one more time, I like that this can just summon our new guy, Crowley, and then Crowley can just straight fuse us into either an invoked fusion, potentially, or even just a Magistus. I can't remember what that one's called. Iwas. I think it's Iwas is the fusion for Magistus. That just is a quick effect, take an opponent's monster. So either way, really satisfied with that. I think that's pretty cool. I like the dual purpose on this card. This card could potentially, like, I have to see truly what the best spellcaster or spell Foolish Burial targets are for this effect. But there's a world where this is a legit 3 of in the deck, because, like, okay, we're going to be very consistent in finding Magistus or Witchcrafter, and even if we go first and we don't even do much, like, setting this card, it doesn't need any requirement for the second effect. So if our opponent just does anything, we're going to at least get stuff going, even if it's as simple as we are summoning Vare, Vare is searching us a follow-up spell, and we're past. And, like, you know, then we use hand traps, whatever, to hopefully keep our opponent from killing us, and we try to play on the next turn. Like, that can be enough sometimes if you open just a card like this with hand traps, and that's where certain decks get better and better, where, like, even their bad hands can get there, right, in this fashion. If we open a hand with 4 non-engine plus this card, the 4 non-engine will hopefully keep our opponent from killing us, and then this card is the card that's going to allow us to at least get our engine started, so that way on turn 3 we can try to make a push, right? And that's the difference sometimes between meta decks and not meta decks. So I'm in on it. I think these are both good cards in different ways. I need to do some research on what the best Foolish spellcaster and spell targets are, but obviously this effect's pretty good for the most part. Even just, by the way, if you get hand trapped at all, so, like, it's such a punish for hand traps. If you get hand trapped, you just get to E-telly. This is E-telly if you get hand trapped, which is crazy. I like it. It's really cool. So really good stuff. Cool to see. This is also just low-key, like, really nice Witchcrafter support at the same time. I didn't even really mention that, but even if you're a big fan of Witchcrafter, this is pretty nice. I like it. Now, is this enough? No. 100%. Even with Chorozo, even with Snake Eye Dam Dragon, even with Spoon, that's not enough. If the Link 2 is exactly what we're hoping for, then it could be. And the last thing to mention too is, by the way, looking at this art, this does not include the Zorua art. So this is the Crowley that was shown in the premium pack artwork on the box. This second card is not the Zorua form that we saw. So theoretically, we should be getting at least one more card, and it's a form of Zorua. I don't know if it's going to be extra. I don't know if it's going to be main deck. But theoretically, there should be one more Magistus card at least from Premium Pack 2025, and also the Link 2. That's enough. With these 2 cards combined with Chorozo, Dam Dragon, and Spoon, and if the other 2 cards are a really good Link 2 and whatever the new Zorua is, we actually could be looking at finally a legit playable archetype in Magistus, and I love it. I really hope that's the case. Only time will tell, but these are 2 more additions, not quite as impactful as the other ones we've seen as of late, but, like, an extender that's better than the extender we have, and another spell that's, like, low-key a starter in some situations, high-key a really awesome extender, especially playing through hand traps, and hopefully we can go from there. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts down below on these two cards. You know, let me know if there's any specific interactions with these two cards that you think are really nasty with Magistus, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on that. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more things Yu-Gi-Oh! News-wise down the line, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.